Hi, I'm Alex from the Mobile Coffee Group and Early Bird Coffee. Today, I'm going to show you a few things about getting your mobile coffee van set up. First of all, I'm going to show you how to set your grinds on your grinder, and that's very important, not only the first time that you get your van, but every single day to get your grinds set perfect for making good coffee. Secondly, I'm going to show you how to program your coffee machine. Okay, each of these buttons does a different thing which you need to program before you can operate the coffee van. And I'm going to show you how to do that and how to get it right and how to make sure that it stays right each time you're making a coffee. Thirdly, we're going to do a bit of troubleshooting. Okay, so you may encounter a few problems when you're out on the road. I'm going to show you what to do if that happens and how to overcome those problems. And then finally, I'm going to show you how to make a really good cup of coffee so that your customers are coming back every single time. So we're just going to have a look now and see what this grinder's like. Just going to pour enough for one shot. Make sure we got enough for one shot in the chamber there. We don't want to use any more than that because the chances are it's not going to be at the right setting and I'm going to have to re-go again. So, I'm going to put this one in, I'm going to press the button straight away, and I can see that that's coming out way too quickly. Alright? That tells me that my grind is really coarse and I need to make it a lot finer. Now how can I tell? What am I looking for? That was coming out really watery, a really pale yellow colour. I want it to look like honey. I want it to be dripping out a nice slow colour, and I want it to be a nice golden dark brown colour. Okay, and that just wasn't quite right. There's a fair bit that we need to do. Now, before I even poured that shot, I knew that this was too coarse because when I have a look at the grind, I know just from looking at this that it's really like sand. It's like sand on a beach, far too coarse. I know just from looking at it that it's not right, that we need to get it finer. This is something you don't need to worry about too much. But the more and more you make coffee and the more you look at your grind, the more you'll realise what it needs to look like. So, I'm going to have another go. I'm going to make my grind setting a lot finer. Now usually these are fairly subtle changes that we're doing up here. But because that was so coarse, I know that I can probably bring it around about 4 or 5 clicks. I turn the grinder back on and then I purge everything that I've got in the chamber. And the reason why I turn the grinder on and then purge everything that I've done, even including that new grind, is because some of the old grind was probably stuck in the chute coming out of the hopper. Okay, so I want to get rid of all of that so that my new grind setting is bang on. So let's go again. Turn it back on. Just look in the chamber there. We just want to get enough for one more shot and we'll have another go. Alrighty. This is looking a lot better straight away. Put it in, press the button straight away. Yeah, still too coarse. All right, still coming out quite a pale color, really quickly. And I can already see that after about 5 seconds, that shot's done. Okay, all the flavors out of the coffee, and it's not gonna be a great tasting espresso. So, we've got to go finer yet again. So I turn it back on, purge everything that we've got. And then we'll see how we go this time. Now, one of the important things is that you get your dosage right every single time. Okay, so not only do we need to make sure the grind is right, but when we're testing the grind, we've got to make sure that every single time we're putting the right amount, the same amount, into your basket. So, I basically give it a few pulls, and then I bang it down, all right? And then I give it another one or two, make sure I overflow it. Bang it down again, and then I flatten out on top, all right? Now the banging down, a couple of hard bangs, what that does is it makes sure that there's no air cavities inside this coffee ground, inside the basket. I want to make sure it's nice and consistent every time. Now flatten it out so I've got exactly the right amount of coffee in there. I get my tamp, put the basket firmly down on the bench. I use my forearm. Get my forearm nice and vertical. I lean in. And the power here is actually coming from my shoulder. Lean in, okay, press once. I've got a few loose grounds on top. Give that a little tap, press it again. Now every single time I do that, and that makes sure that the dosage is right. So if anything's wrong with the pour, it all comes from the grind, not from my dosage. Let's see how we go this time. Back in, press the button straight away, and look at that. Coming out nice and slowly, consistency of honey, beautiful golden colour. So you can see, all right, adjusting the grind is really important. You want to get it right so that you've got a beautiful golden colour coming out, dripping just like honey. If you do that right at the start of each day and as you're going during the day, it'll make sure that you'll be capable of making a really good cup of coffee.